I'm so strange. Well, I did grow up in the 80s. The 80s was fun but traumatizing for a child. At times, we are not even sure how much we were even loved.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
When parents had to be reminded that they even had children on the 10 o'clock news, you know it's going to be one messed up decade. The only problem, most of us that survived the 80s had no counseling. And so we were left this way, to have children and do our best in raising them. So before I begin this video, I just apologize to my own children. I did the best I could with what I had. Anyway, hopefully this video will help children that were raised by parents from the 80s understand why we raised you the way we did. Before we begin, welcome to the Strange She Shed, where we discuss the strange. Right from my little she shed. My name is Holly. Before you leave, help this country girl out and hit that subscribe button. Now let's travel back to the 80s. At night, we were forced to watch these shows.
It's late on a moonless night. You're on a dark, lonely road. The sudden rustle of leaves makes you jump. You assume it's your imagination. Unless you're on the road to resurrection yourself.
And then during the day, we were forced outside to play all day when we were not in school. But we were instructed to go by 2 rules. Don't accept candy from strangers and don't ever get into that white van. That was the rules. Abide by them or you're dead.
Hey, darling, I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to catch a ride home. Okay, catch a ride. No, just, call somebody, see if somebody there can't take you home. Or just walk home. No white vans.
To this day, a white van has been so embedded in my psyche to be evil that I still get the creepy crawlies when I see one. Then to additionally mess us up, we were shown this commercial. You've been nagging me all dang morning. I'll only ask you for a little breakfast. Well, Jack, you're pushing my last nerve. Go outside. Play with your little friends if you have any. If you don't, make some. It'd be healthy for you. Like me. I'm healthy. Just make sure you're home before the sun sets so we can have supper. That's all I ask. Mom, I'm burnt from playing outside all day yesterday. Quit whining. Do you think this is stay inside Saturday morning cartoons or something? Go outside and quit being a sissy like your sister.
So when y'all are saying that y'all used to drink from the hose, were sinks not an option?
For fuck's sake. Who's gonna tell him? You want me to tell him? I'll tell him. We weren't allowed in the house. I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand. Our childhood was like one never-ending episode of that TV show Survivor.
Not only did me and my cousins drink from the hose, but we were squirted off with the hose too because apparently we're then too filthy to come into the house. So before we even got a bath, we got a good squirting. Those 80s exercise was the bomb and exactly why we are so fit.
That's it. Move. 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 Now the other one. Go on. That's it. Come on. Hit it. Hit it. Right. Come on. All right.
Find that beat. There it is. Oh, yeah. That's good. Ho. Now your favorite thing. The hip sugar. Come on and shake that cute little booty of yours. Ow! Chicka, 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 chicka. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Find it. Feel it. Do it. All right, yeah. I've got these two cute guys behind me, and you'll never guess what they want me to do. Hold it! Look out. They want to be seduced. Can you believe it? Come on, find your pelvis. I know you've got one, and it's okay to move it, for heaven's sake. Yes!
And why we have so many face wrinkles.
The name of the technique is called the lion. And some of you may know this, but we've added a few new things to it. You're going to watch me first, and then you'll follow along. It starts with a low O, stretching the skin at the bottom part of your face. We'll then accompany it with sticking your tongue out. You can see the stretch. We will then look up so we can work underneath the eyes. And we'll hold our breath for a count of 8. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this, and then you'll do it along with me. Watch. Wow, bringing blood to the face and oxygenating the blood.
Well, besides the fact that secondhand smoke was absorbed in every crevice. Speaking of cigarettes, how many times did I walk into the store and say, "Can you give me a pack of Marlboros?" Then I could hardly reach over the counter to get them or even say that word. I can still barely say that word. I either asked for the cigarettes or I got them out of a machine that looked like this. We were allowed to watch Saturday morning cartoons until somebody mentioned they were demonic. It didn't matter who. It could be your Aunt Hilda. It could be your pastor. It could be some guy you knew you didn't know from the news. It didn't matter where the source came from. If someone said it was demonic, it was demonic. And there ended at least that cartoon in your future.
Is there anything occultic or dangerous about Smurfs?
Well, Smurfs happens to be the most popular Saturday morning cartoon since the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner hour. It's just entered into a long-term run, and it's hit an hour and a half on Saturday morning cartoon. But there are some things about Smurfs that we need to look at. First of all, you'll notice that they're depicted as blue with black lips.
Well, isn't that interesting?
And you know what happens to you when you die? You turn blue and your lips turn black.
In other words, these are depictive of dead creatures.
Right.
If you don't know what Smurfs are, they're not that cute little cuddly thing. They are satanic. They do satanic pentagrams, Smurf sheets, Smurf covers, Smurf curtains, Smurf everything. They took out and they burned those Smurf things. They anointed the place with oil. They asked the angels of God to clean it out. That child slept peacefully for the first time in many, many months.
Sadly, Smurfs was my favorite cartoon. I was traumatized when my mom said one of the Smurfs said Beelzebub, and I was no longer allowed to watch it. If she wasn't home, though, and my dad was watching me, I watched it anyway because my dad was clueless to the fact that Papa Smurf was the leader of a demonic cult.
How many times am I tell you to do these dishes? Why? I ain't even make no dishes. I know this boy ain't talking to his mama like that. I know he ain't talking to his mama. I know this boy ain't talking to my sister like that. I knew something wrong with that boy.
You were also spanked at school. In fact, one time my brother actually stole his teacher's paddle, thinking that would stop him from getting spanked. It didn't work. Apparently, they had reinforcements. I imagine if I was at my mom's house today, I could still find that paddle somewhere in that house. It had all the names of the children that had been spanked on it. My brother's was probably on it several times. He was a little bit ornery, just a little bit. I was the perfect angel. Absolutely.
These serrated metal bike pedals, or as we call them, the Spinning Calf Flesh Extractor 3000. No pain in the world compared to that time you were pedaling as fast as you can because you had a 2-bike lead with only 20 feet left in the race over the neighborhood champ 2-wheel Tony, only to have your foot slip off and this medieval metal monster whip around at the speed of sound and embed itself in the back of your hairless adolescent leg. Using actual bear traps as pedals would have probably been less of a health risk. Number 2 was the strawberry shortcake doll. Now I know what you're thinking, what problem could you possibly have, Chris, with this adorable fruit-themed child's doll? Well, I'll tell you, I have no idea what chemical compound they used to spray the strawberry shortcake smell in this doll, but in my 46 years of life, this nose has never come across anything even remotely as exquisite. And you will never feel shame like I did when my older brother found me under the covers huffing on one of these like some sort of sexual deviant who finally had the chance to nab his favorite lady's undergarments at the laundromat.
I mean, look, I still have my strawberry shortcake doll. Same doll. Lost her booties, but she still looks pretty good. No longer a great strawberry smell, but she's still cute as pie. And those metal bike pedals were like medieval torture devices. Also, no helmet wearing while we jumped dangerous ramps that we made out of material we had lying around the house. Whatever you found, that was now something you definitely needed to jump. Let's go ahead and add the metal slides to the torture devices. We all learned to bend our knees while wearing shorts, and that way we would only feel our booty burning, our booty baking, nothing else. At least our legs worked. We'd slide down with just a big red booty when we got done.
Edition. Number 1. Rickety-ass metal playground slide. Or as we called it, Satan's tongue. If the razor-sharp edges at the top and bottom didn't somehow amputate your pudgy child limbs, and you also didn't fall off and re-shatter your collarbone, then the boiling steel surface melted your flesh faster than a brick of butter in a blue star. This isn't rust. It's the melted ass flesh of an entire generation. Number 2. Seesaws. And I'm not talking about the new, super slow, yeah, we actually care about our kids seesaws. I'm talking about the old school, splinter-filled, wooden whiplash pain planks. The amount of ways to injure yourself on one of these was astonishing. For starters, you could jam your legs in a dozen ways, fall forward and kiss wood like this young lady, or your friend could hop off in the middle of driving you plums first through the crust of the earth. The only sea I ever saw was the curve in my spine at the emergency room x-rays. Number 3. Old school merry-go-rounds. Hey kids, mom needs a few minutes to finish this pirate romance novel where everyone's throbbing for some reason. Why don't you grab your siblings and go jump on that wound wheel over there? And make sure you spin it to DNA separating speeds until Timmy flies into traffic and Sarah throws up the grapefruit roll-up she stole from your lunch directly into your mouth.
And he totally forgot about the jungle gyms. I once did a backflip on these, fell, and then hit every bar on the way down, only to land with my arm behind my back and snapping it in two, right here. Talk about pain. My mom said I was literally green when she picked me up from school. I was given not even a Tylenol. I just had to wait for my mother to get there. And that was a long time considering if you've seen the old phones we used, where you dial something and wait around for the number to get back, dial another number, wait around. By the time that was finished and my mother actually picked me up, I really felt like I might be dying or dead at that point. You know how when a lot of you younger guys ate breakfast before you went to school and you looked at your phone? Well, we had no phone to look at. We looked at the back of cereal boxes. We learned a lot from the back of those cereal boxes, and also the milk cartons where missing kids were found, to remind us that we definitely shouldn't be getting inside that white van, because you're going to be on that milk carton. But the cereal boxes, they were educational. Maybe the most education we received all day. When we were kicked outside all day, we had to think of things to do. My family had a farm and we grew peanuts. So usually me and my cousins would go outside in the field, eat peanuts until our bellies hurt, literally cramped to death because we eat so many peanuts. And then we'd take the peanuts and add them to our mud pies. Make mud pies, mud wrestle, play in the woods, and build tree houses and forts. There was no social media, so we had to make our own friends. When you live in the country, your options are pretty limited. So one summer, we were best friends with this lady who had dementia that was our neighbor. Of course, the next day, she forgot who we even were, so we had to tell her we were friends and start all over again. It was a long summer. Let's not forget to why I'm scared of things that dress up and costumes. I mean, this was traumatic as a child. Now they have like normal looking Santas and Easter bunnies, and clowns are never normal. But you can understand why kids were traumatized when somebody dressed up by looking at these pictures. You guys are all so proud of your twerking abilities, but did you know we developed this in the 80s? We've been rocking our booty long before you were even born. In fact, that's what got us in trouble in the first place. That's why you were born. My son hates when I do this, but I haven't done it in a while, so why not?
Clap when she walk, clap when she walk, clap when she walk. She shaking ass everywhere, ass everywhere. Clap when she walk, clap when she walk, clap when she walk. She shaking ass everywhere, ass everywhere. Ass bounce when she walk.
Look like my Aunt Myrtle in the 80s. She had a little pointy nose like that. That's okay, Simon. I'll forgive you. I still love you.